Welcome to Golden Stories. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's always fun here. The courtroom buzzed with whispers, the kind that coil around the walls and make silence feel dangerous. At the defense table sat Daniel Rigg, tall, broad-shouldered, handcuffs biting into his wrists. His eyes were steady, cold, unreadable. The charge? Disorderly conduct. That's what the papers said. But the murmurs told another story. Ex-Marine gone rogue, violent, unstable. They painted him as a threat, a man carrying invisible wars in his chest. The prosecutor leaned into the drama, voice sharp. This man thinks his uniform puts him above the law. She jabbed a finger toward him. He terrorized a citizen at a gas station. Look at him. He won't even defend himself. Rigg sat motionless, silent. The courtroom saw that silence as arrogance. Nobody asked why. Reporters scribbled furiously. Cameras clicked. A woman in the gallery whispered, "They should lock him away. Dangerous man like that, no telling what he could do." The judge's gavel cracked against the wood. Order in the court. But even she couldn't disguise the unease etched into her face. Rigg tilted his head slightly, jaw flexing. He'd faced ambushes, gunfire, men who wanted him dead. Yet here, in this small-town courthouse, he looked more like prey than predator. And in the back row, unnoticed, a man in a long dark coat had just entered quietly. His shoes echoed softly against the tiles, but no one yet understood the weight of his arrival. The second day of trial dawned with the same venom. The prosecutor strutted around the courtroom like a performer, each step rehearsed. She painted Rigg as a menace, her voice slicing through the stale air. "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what happens when a soldier forgets where the battlefield ends? You get this man." She pointed again, letting the word man drip with contempt. "A ticking time bomb. Look at him. No remorse, no emotion. That silence isn't discipline, it's guilt." The jury shifted in their seats. Some nodded. Some avoided Rigg's gaze entirely. He remained still, his eyes fixed on nothing, his chest rising and falling with measured control. Every muscle screamed restraint. The handcuffs rattled faintly when he adjusted his seat, a reminder of the humiliation pressed on him. In the gallery, whispers swelled. "He snapped," someone murmured. "I heard he bragged about killing." Another voice added, "Marines like him. Dangerous when they come back." The poison spread, unseen but thick in the air. The defense attorney rose, face pale, voice shaking. "My client served this nation honorably. He saved lives overseas. His silence isn't guilt. It's dignity." But the words fell flat, drowned by the prosecutor's sneer. Rigg's jaw clenched tighter. Memories of dust, blood, and sacrifice flickered in his mind. He had carried brothers on his back through hell. He had stared down death more times than anyone in this room could imagine. And now strangers called him a liar. The judge rubbed her temples, exhaustion weighing heavy. "We'll adjourn until tomorrow." As the gavel fell, the doors creaked open. A uniformed figure stepped in. The silver glint of four stores caught the light. General Samuel Wyatt. His presence stopped the whispers cold. And for the first time, Rigg's eyes lifted. The courtroom was silent, heavy with judgment. General Samuel Wyatt's entrance was no ordinary sight. His crisp uniform gleamed, medals glittering like shards of history. The bailiff straightened instinctively, jurors' eyes widened, and the prosecutor's confidence faltered for the first time. But then came her sneer. "Oh, so now we're parading in a friend? What's next, a pity party?" She turned to the jury, lips curling. "Don't let the uniform fool you. Some men hide behind it, and some men," her eyes cut toward Rigg, "think it excuses everything." The jury stirred again, and that's when Wyatt spoke. His voice was gravel, seasoned by command. "You sit there, questioning a man whose name you don't even deserve to utter, a man who has bled for this country while you slept safe in your beds." He stepped forward, every word like a drumbeat. "But let's call this what it is, shall we? If Daniel Rigg weren't black, you wouldn't dare put him in chains for a gas station argument." The room gasped. The prosecutor's face reddened. "Objection." "Objection overruled," the judge snapped, her gavel striking once. Her eyes flickered, unease, shame, recognition. Wyatt turned toward the jury, his salute sharp, slicing the silence. "I watched this man carry Marines out of gunfire with bullets in his body. I watched him save white, black, Latino. He never asked what color they were before risking his life. And now you reduce him to a stereotype? A dangerous black man?" Every phone in the gallery was raised now, recording. Rigg's silence, once painted as guilt, began to feel like something else entirely. The dignity of a man too tired to beg for respect he had already earned. And for the first time, shame spread across the jurors' faces. The prosecutor's mask finally cracked. Her words came out sharp, but they trembled. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, don't let theatrics distract you. He's still guilty of assault. Black, white, uniform or not, the law is the law. But her voice no longer carried. The jury wasn't looking at her. They were looking at Rigg, and more importantly, at the man who had just put his entire reputation on the line for him. General Wyatt stepped closer to the witness stand, eyes locked on the jury. You want law? Fine. But don't you dare twist it into a weapon. Don't you dare strip a black Marine of his humanity, because it's easier to believe he's dangerous than to admit you're prejudiced. His words thundered. If this court convicts him, it's not just Rigg on trial. It's America's promise of equality. The judge's gavel struck once, hard, order, but her voice was shaky. For the first time, she wasn't just presiding, she was hiding. Rigg finally lifted his head, his voice low but steady. I stood for this country. All I ever wanted was for my country to stand for me. The silence that followed was suffocating. Jurors shifted, some wiping their eyes. Phones kept recording. And though the verdict hadn't been read, everyone in that room knew the case had already shifted. The prosecutor sat down, defeated. Wyatt placed a firm hand on Rigg's shoulder, not as a superior, but as a brother. And that's where we leave it. If you're new here, welcome to Golden Stories. We bring you the raw, the real, and the unforgettable. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's always fun here.